Robin here. We are going to do a body weight workout, no equipment required, 40 plus workout. So if you have any injuries, just remember to take the modification and take breaks, drink water. We'll have a lot of fun today. And so the first thing we want to do is get the heart rate up, but I don't want to hurt you just yet with a lot of muscle pain. So we're going to do some active stretching, which means that we're trying to create some flexibility while getting some movement in. The first one is Frankenstein's. Opposite hand, opposite foot. Now a lot of the times you can't touch your toe just yet. That's okay. Go for your knee and rotate the core. So we want to make sure that we're vacuuming those abs in and flexing the foot to shine the heel towards me so that eventually you can reach your toes. And 10, 9, 8, 7. If you want some arms, we can windmill. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Now spread your legs wider than your shoulders. We want to make sure all 10 toes are pointed forward and that the knees stay straight. Arms out to a T, opposite hand, opposite leg. Reach down and rotate. Come up, reach down and rotate. So we're alternating sides, making sure to stand up each time. And when you do stand up, I want you to draw your belly button in and tuck your tailbone to squeeze your glutes. Now, if you can't tap your toes, that's okay. Just go for those knees. Let's try to keep those knees straight, though. It's very tempting to want to bend them. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. The next one is going to be for inner thighs and also helps with flexibility in your hip joints. So this one's like you're going to kick a hacky sack. Bring your foot up to the inside so that you tap your inner heel. Opposite hand, opposite foot. Alternating sides. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now for the one that can be really complicated to do right and really easy to do wrong. We're going to do the same thing we just did, but back behind. It works the back obliques, helps open up the hip flexors, squeeze those glutes. Opposite heel, opposite hand. Now, when I said people do this one wrong routinely, is because they don't let their knee push back. They keep their knee in front. And then they just kind of try to reach. This is wrong because we're not getting any hip flexor stretch. So we're going to try to squeeze the glute to keep the knee behind the standing leg. So I'll turn to this side so you can see. And you may find your hamstrings cramp a little bit on this one. That's normal. The more you use your glutes, though, the less the hamstrings cramp. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Reach those arms out in front. Now we're going to open them up as wide as we can and then bring them back together. Open and close. Open and close. Imagine you're moving through water. Push the water back, pull the water in. 9, 8. Pull your shoulders out of your ears. Keep your core tight all the way on your heels. 2, and 1. Very good. Okay, so normally we do that 3 rounds through, but today I'm going to show you all the exercises, and if you're looking for a little bit of a longer workout, you can just start back over at the beginning. So now let's start with upper body. We're going to do some chest and tris using equipment we have here in the house. So I'm going to be doing my push-ups here, but if you don't have something at this height, I would suggest using a kitchen countertop or island. It seems to be the perfect height for learning how to do push-ups correctly without having to get down on the ground and modify your push-up. So bring your hands onto the island or cabinet or wherever you can find that's higher than a kitchen table. Kitchen tables are usually a little bit too low in the beginning. Walk your feet back, come onto your toes, create a nice straight line through the body, extending the chest forward. Now you may find that your wrists hurt a little bit with this. That's normal, unfortunately, and there's not much we can do about it, but you can take dish towels and put them where your wrists hit the edge. Now slowly lower your body down and push away. I always like to start people off with a nice short range of motion movement, because if you go too deep, you can collapse and cause lots of bad form when you push back up. So keeping that body in a nice straight line, lift and lower, all as one. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Now the next one, I like to do these on a chair or a couch, but if you do have wrist issues, it might be easier to do with a chair. So you're going to sit down in the chair, bring your hands to the sides of the chair. I like to go fingers facing out as opposed to fingers facing your hips, which is the traditional dip form because of wrist and shoulder issues. So if you don't feel super flexible in your shoulders, just bring your hands out to the sides. Now walk your hips off, but keep your hips close. A lot of people have a tendency to put more weight in their legs, and that's really bad for your shoulder joints. So we're going to keep our hips as close to the bench as we can. Bend the elbows, lower, and then press up. Now don't go too deep on these because you can hurt your shoulders. And we're just going to do a couple. Remember to use your legs as much as you want. Let's just wake up the back of those arms. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Now, giving our upper body a little bit of a break, I'm going to do a balancing pose that also really strengthens the lower body. So we're going to lift one leg up. You can use your chair for assistance. Stand up, hold your balance, and then sit back down. Same leg. Stand up, balance, sit back down. Keep that core tight, chest high. Stand up, take it down. Good, we have 5 more. 5. Push through your heel. Relax your toes. Try to think about squeezing your glute. Squeeze on the way up and lower nice and slow. Last one. Very good. Now switch legs. Remember to keep your foot in line with your knee, not underneath, because that would put all the weight in the toes, which is really bad for our knees. And with one leg lifted, driving through the heel, stand up and balance. Slowly lower yourself down. Up and down. Focus on the glutes and the abs. Four more. Last one. And rest. Very good. Okay, now let's do some exercises for the back. We're going to come back to our countertop. Take it into that push-up stance. Spread your feet about hip width distance apart. Now rotate both heels to the left side and reach the right arm up. Now come back to your push-up position. Now rotate your heels to the right side, lift the left arm up and back. We're going to go side to side. Keeping the chest out, abs tight. Nice straight line through that body. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to the plank. Slowly walk yourself in. Grab some water. Take a break for a second if you need it. Let that heart rate come down. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to start back with our chair, doing a double leg stand-up. This is how I teach clients to squat correctly, because the majority of people, especially as we get older, squat incorrectly. That means that every time you sit down in your chair or your car and stand up out of your chair or car, you're doing it wrong, and it can hurt your hips and your knees and even your back. So practicing doing squats correctly is so very important for the longevity of your joints. Let's start with our chair. We're going to stand slightly in front, feet shoulder width distance apart. Now push your knees away from each other, like you're holding a giant watermelon in between your thighs. Reach your arms out in front. Sit down onto the chair. Once you tap the chair, squeeze your glutes, press through your heels, and stand. Now, if you need to modify and use your hands to help, that's totally okay. Just try to think about what muscles we're trying to fire. So once we're here, we're squeezing the glutes, we're drawing the abs in, keeping the head up, and stand. Now, if you'd like to make it a little harder, come down, barely touch the chair with your hips, and then stand right back up. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Now, wide squats are usually much nicer on the joints. So we're going to turn the toes out. And I like to place the chair in front so that we can work on not falling forward with our body. So I'm going to turn this way so that you can see the form. But just remember, toes out, knees point where middle toes point. It's very important. So lightly holding onto the chair, squat and stand. Keep the belly button drawn in. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Now, if you'd like to make it harder, you can reach your arms out in front. Naturally, you may find that your body wants to fall forward into the chair. Try to resist the urge to let your chest lower by using your core muscles and keeping your upper back arched. And 3, 2, 1. Great job, guys. That was a nice full body workout. You can do it anywhere, home or office, without having to get on the ground.